Hello, Sandman.
Welcome back, weary travelers. We got a lot to get into, so let's just dive right back in. Season of Mist, Episode 2. As last we saw Morpheus traveling to Hell, we see him walking up to the gates and seeing it unguarded and already open. For the comic purists, you can follow along in issue 23. He enters into the now familiar Lucifer's parlor, and Lucifer appears behind him, wearing what appears to be a satin bathrobe and matching pajamas. Granted, she's wearing the absolute height of bedwear fashion, but is that the best the costume department can do? No, she isn't wearing anything accurate to the source material, while at the same time, it does nothing in elevating Brienne of Tarth emulating Lucifer. And what's up with her hair? Why does it look like a bowl cut with locks? If this haircut was done to emulate a halo, then it's a total miss. It looks absolutely horrible.
This is shit, but hey,
Now let's spend a moment talking about Lucifer's portrayal by Brienne of Tarth. We were introduced to this cast back in season 1, and like I stated previously, she's a horrible casting choice. Not only does she not look like Lucifer, but her portrayal is weak as well. As we already know, Lucifer was modeled after David Bowie, and not only does Brienne of Tarth not resemble the Starman in any way, but she's the wrong gender as well.
Oh, yeah?
Now, add on the fact that she's supposed to be Lucifer Morningstar. At a moment of time, God's greatest creation. She is supposed to be a representation of near perfection?
Sure, Jan.
So why her of all people? If she was chosen for her physical size, then the director doesn't utilize it as she is rarely standing next to Morpheus. And if it was a physical size difference they wanted to show, then they could have easily accomplished this by casting a male for the role. And yet, they didn't. Which means there was never any intention on casting a male for this role. Therefore, like all the other race and gender swapped characters from season 1, Brienne of Tarth was another intentional box checking DEI hire.
Fucking hell.
So as Lucifer and Morpheus talk, Lucifer states to him that he won't be harmed within the boundaries of hell, and then tells him that she's quitting. While they continue their discussion, Mazzy Keen enters, interrupting them, telling Lucifer that she won't leave and wants to stay with her. Now, let's touch upon Mazzy Keen briefly. Yes, she's another race swapped character. We can overlook that for a moment. The biggest change is she's a girl boss in the show, acting as Lucifer's loyal bodyguard. Her perpetual wary attitude, in my opinion, grows quite annoying over time. Whereas in the source material, she is the most docile character maybe in the entire book. Although she does become a more prominent figure when Lucifer was spun off to his own series, Netflix decided to use that version here, even though it doesn't represent the source material. And mind you, the Mazzy King we see here might be accurate to those later comics. They weren't written by Neil Gaiman. The loyal but docile Mazzy King was written by him, and yet he allowed the show to change her into a girl boss back in season 1.
fucking hell.
Now ask yourself, if they kept Mazzy King as white, would she still be portrayed as a girl boss, bossing around other demons portrayed by other POCs? Probably not. Thus, proving the race swap of the character was purely because of wokeness. But you already knew this. What else is new, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
So once again, hell is just this little parlor room. Only when they step to the other side of the door do we get a change of scenery. And when we do, there's still nothing to see. Once again, hell as a location is relegated to just some bland and desolate landscape.
This is shit, but hey.
There's nothing of interest and nothing to give us a sense of anything. No plumes of smoke or steam to give us a sense of sulfur in the air, no sense of heat, and once again, everything looks too clean, which gives us no sense of chaos, despair, or dread. It is so bland, which once again proves the incredible laziness and lack of detail put into this show.
Shit.
Remember, they're filming this on the volume set. The background could be whatever they want to show. Volcanoes with rivers of lava, fire and brimstone. Now you might be saying, this is what it looked like in the source material. Well, that might be technically true. The source material also shows many other locations of hell pointing out just how vast hell is, which is an important fact in this story arc. Their conversation didn't happen in a boring parlor room with nothing of note and offering zero sensory information. But enough of the bland CGI and set decorations. Let's get back to the story. Upon locking the last door to hell, Lucifer asks Morpheus to cut off her wings. As Morpheus performs the duty, they show Lucifer crying. Why is she crying? Did she not just ask him to cut off her wings?
Yeah.
So what are the tears for? Are they tears of pain? If so, why isn't she crying out, or at the very least, grimacing? Because there is neither a display nor sound of pain shown, one can't conclude her tears are caused by pain. So if not that, then what? Sadness? Why would she be sad? She just asked him to cut them off. How can she be sad to lose her wings when she just requested them to be removed? Oh, maybe it's regret. She regrets having her wings removed when she didn't truly have the intention of getting them taken away. But then again, she just literally asked for them to be removed 5 seconds ago, so I can't buy that reason either. The real reason is poor acting, poor directing, and wokeness. In the source material, Lucifer cries out in pain as Morpheus cuts his wings off. They don't show that here because, well, you know why. She's a girl boss.
Fucking hell.
And while the deed is being done, they can't just show Lucifer getting her wings cut off as if a lock of her hair was being snipped off. They had to show some type of emotional pain or loss. Thus, we get the pathetic single tear down her face.
Pathetic.
As they are now outside the confines of hell, Lucifer hands over the key to him. He takes it surprised. And if there was a moment in Brian of Tarth's acting career, it's right here. In the source material, Lucifer gives Morpheus the key to hell as if it were a gift. But both of them know what will come with the ownership of it. Lucifer says his farewells, and it's said like a devious inside joke that should end with a maniacal laugh. Let's see Brian of Tarth's rendition.
Perhaps it will destroy you. Perhaps it won't. But I doubt it'll make your life any easier. Farewell, my dear Morpheus.
This is shit, but hey.
First off, how many takes did they do? Were there any variations between any of them? And this one they used was the best one?
Shit.
Now, was it accurate to the source material? Yes, it was. But what made it to the screen is the most boring and bland translation possible. Not only is the setting absent of any sensory perception, the acting is devoid of any character or flavor. It's like eating a sandwich with nothing between the bread.
This is shit, but hey.
So Lucifer leaves, and Morpheus returns back to his realm. Back in the dreaming, we see the three insolent minions who all have assigned duties, but Lucian isn't in the library, Mervyn isn't tending the grounds, and Matthew isn't delivering any messages.
Assholes.
Instead, they're all just holding their dicks when Morpheus returns. Then Lucian asks Morpheus what happened, and he tells her. And then what do you think happens? That's right. She begins advising her master, the Lord Shaper, on what he should do.
Get the fuck out of here.
He then goes to his gallery and calls on his sister, Black Death, for advice. What do you think happens next? That's right. She tells him what to do, because he's just a cuck and can't resolve any issues on his own. So you're probably asking, is this source material? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, Morpheus calls on Death for advice, but she tells him she doesn't know what he should do, and that she's currently too busy to offer any additional assistance. What about the insolent minion Lucian? Did the source material counterpart offer advice too? Being that the source material counterpart is a white male, what do you think? That's right. No, we didn't. But you already came to that conclusion once you remembered Lucian is a race and gender swapped character.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Then we hear a loud knock at the palace door as Thor demands entrance. Morpheus informs his insolent minions to let them in and greet them as guests, as they are much less of a threat as guests than as enemies. Now we get to meet a host of godly entities from an array of different mythologies. We begin with Odin Allfather, with son Thor and Loki. Thor is represented as an oafish brute, and Loki as a gay dude acting straight. There's a representation of order in the form of a gay mod squad, holding Lord Kilderkin, represented as a brown box. Then there's the Princess of Chaos, personified as a little girl wearing messy clown makeup and holding a balloon. Then there's the Japanese Lord of Storms, Susanoo Ono Mikoto, who is Japanese wearing traditional Japanese robes. Then there are the Demons of Hell, with Corazon, the Merkin, and Azazel. And later, we meet the detachment from the Court of Fairy with Brother Cluricon and Sister Nuala. Last but not least, we meet the two race-swapped angels, Remiel and Duma. And finally, let's discuss the omission of the Egyptian gods, Anubis and Bast. They were removed most probably due to budget. They can't remove Azazel, but they would have if they could, so they removed the next most costly guests, and so we didn't get the Egyptian gods. So as the guests are greeted and marked down, Morpheus lets them know they're all his guests and under his hospitality. He tells them he knows why they're here, and they will have a banquet and then they'll discuss. During the banquet, we see the guests interact with each other, while each interested party finds a time to speak with Morpheus alone to offer their reasonings and gifts in exchange for the key to hell. We get the interaction of Thor's brutish advances on the Merkin. Now, this character is neither race or gender swapped, or at least in the source material, Merkin has no race other than being a demon. Just like Azazel and a plethora of other characters, she's an absolutely pathetic rendition of the source material. Again, just like Despair, I'm not asking for a complete accurate physical appearance, but making a disgusting looking demon into human form is so lazy and weak.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
I mean, this show isn't Star Trek that had many humanoid aliens as they had to make over 20 episodes per season. This show is a one off, and they already know it's going to be the final season. Why doesn't the show go out with a bang and put a little bit more effort and authenticity to the project? The corner cutting and the penny pinching is on obvious display, not to mention the lack of passion for the show.
This is shit, but hey.
So each faction makes their offer for the key. Lord Kilderkin offers something Morpheus doesn't need or want. The little girl of chaos threatens Morpheus for it. Susanoo Ono Mikoto makes an impassioned plea for it. Odin offers the whereabouts of Brother Destruction, and because it would delay Ragnarok from coming. And finally, Azazel offers Corazon to Morpheus as punishment for bogarting his home from season 1. And he offers Nada to him, as he knows Morpheus came to hell in search for her. And so ends episode 2. Now, once again, the show hits the main story beats of the story. What are the changes? You could probably guess. It's the girl bossing. Let's start with Lucifer. There shouldn't be any girl bossing to speak of, but since they gender swapped Lucifer, there is. But it doesn't matter in general, as the entire interaction with Lucifer was complete trash. Bland and banal set decorations, and a pathetic excuse for acting.
It's a complete crap.
The show does absolutely nothing to elevate the source material. Rather, one needs to go back to the source material to not just get more detail, but to get some flavor. Then we get Morpheus returning to the dreaming. Watch this. Where is Morpheus going? My guess is he's going to his gallery to talk to his sister when he's interrupted by guess who? The insolent Lucian.
God damn it!
Granted, she's curious to know what happened, but then what else does she do? She offers advice, of course.
Fucking hell.
Because we already know from season 1 that Morpheus, the Lord Shaper, ruler of the dreaming before time, is not as wise or worldly than one of his created minions.
Get the fuck out of here.
So Morpheus makes it to his gallery and speaks to Black Death. Granted, this is source material. Not the Black Sister part, but you already knew that. And what does she say? Does she advise him on what he should do? Just by following the woke logic, you'll get your answer. Female plus POC equals automatic girl boss.
You have two choices. Either you take the key Lucifer gave you and you rule hell, or give it to someone else.
Fucking hell.
Then, of course, the Merkin. we'll apply the same woke logic. Female plus POC equals automatic girl boss.
I did not come here seeking conflict. Nor will I shrink from it.
What the fuck is this?
With all of the girl bossing out of the way, we have to discuss the absolutely pathetic CGI. You can call the changes of Azazel and the Merkin as well as the omissions of Anubis and Bass as creative choices. However, let's call it out for what it is. First, it's cheap. They don't have the budget or the ability to show our changed and omitted characters for the entire show, and is a pathetic excuse for a creative choice. Even with what we got, the CGI was piss poor. Second, laziness. If they didn't have the budget, and this is what we got, then they didn't work hard enough to make the CG look better. We barely got anything at all, and this was the best the show could do?
Pathetic.
And lastly, no passion for the source material leads to the lack of attention of detail. Nobody at the top cares. Netflix doesn't care other than the woke elements in the show, and the showrunners have proven time after time a willingness to accommodate that aspect. So once again, when it comes to the main story, it seems accurate to the source material. However, all of the characters are changed in order to propagate a woke narrative while being completely one-dimensional. The richness and color of the Sandman all come from the characters, with the story being secondary. This show tells the same story, but removes all of the color and intrigue and replaces it with a woke narrative. That is 100% unacceptable. So let's give this episode a grade. If I saw this not knowing the source material, I'd give it a 6. The source material is irrelevant when it comes to everything about Lucifer. It is bland and boring from start to finish. Having read the source material, it gets a 2. Azazel and the Merkin are pathetic displays of laziness and a lack of attention to detail. Gay acting straight Loki is another example of wokeness. The incessant girl bossing will always be annoying, and Morpheus being told what to do will always be 100% unacceptable. And that'll do it for this video. We'll close out Seasons of Mist story arc in episode 3. And just a little teaser, the woke show changes the ending as usual. But what else is new? As always, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in episode 3's review. Until then.
It's a complete crap.